All right, we are headed down to this festival. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited about it. It's Carnival. It's Carnival, and they're supposed to have the Venetian mask and all the cool stuff. And so we're excited, but we're lost. And we're on this little narrow road, and we're listening to the Google, and she's taking us through these crazy roads again. I don't know how we do it, guys, but we always manage to do it. And it's usually when snow's driving.
No, this was because I turned where Curt told me to turn, and then the Google lady's trying to fix it. That is what is happening here.
But anyway, sometimes it's nice to get off the beaten path and see what life's like, you know, in these little towns and in these little urban bits. And well, at this point we don't have a choice anyway. Where's the parking lot?
It says we're 2 minutes away,
so we could just get produce right there. Market. Their parade must be over.
Take the second left onto Ruga Muhammad Dibra, then turn right.
Have their little parades.
Yeah, they got their little capes and masks. You can see we found parking right here. We're outside the soccer stadium. There is a business right there, and they actually moved a vehicle so we could park there. So that was really cool of them. So we know it's secure parking, but because we are in a city, we put on the slick locks just to be safe. There is a little walking market. This is the market area, so that ought to be a real cool bonus treat that we didn't anticipate. And then also, we do like a market. And then also we're gonna walk down to sort of the walking streets here, which is where we think they're gonna have the festival activities. Now, we don't exactly know what these are. We know the schools have several parades and several other things go on throughout the weekend. It's a 3-day festival. So I guess you'll see when we do.
We're gonna go figure it out. We also need to find an ATM because we need to get some Albanian leks.
Yeah, I think you should go right. Just walking up to the market here. There's some outer stalls. Ooh, they have some nice eggs. I want to get those when we get back. Acorns, walkorns, pecans, prunes, peanuts, all sorts of fruits. And then again, outside the market, there's some nice looking fruits. So obviously apples, oranges, other kinds of citrus, beans, cauliflower, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, leeks, which are greens, and a lot of other stands here. And now we are starting to kind of come around the corner to the main market. So just my first observation after walking into this market is that this is more like the markets that we would have seen in South America. And so as you come along here, I can tell you, oh, that's some nice pants. So as you come along here, Florida Miami State University. I don't even know if that's a university. But right as we come in here, it's mostly closed, but I can tell this is just going to be a general market with all the different stalls. So there's going to be a mix of clothing, makeup, household goods. There will be a food section here. You can see here you can get linens, other decorations for your home, toys for the kids. There are all sorts of stalls through here. Again, so cool, but more like a market that we saw in South America than in the rest of Europe. Think those are real Louis in there? You do? Wow.
So as we're walking through here, I'm kind of scanning the prices just so I can give you an idea of what the stuff cost. It looks like that the sweatshirts are around 10,000 leckies, which is basically $10. I saw some of the shoes. And of course they say Adidas and Nike, but they're probably not. They were priced around 15 leckies, which is $15. 15,000 leckies, which is $15. Kids' clothes looked like they were 5,000, which would be $5. So just to give you an idea of just an overview of what the pricing situation in the market is. All right, so we took a quick stroll through the food section, and it is a good little food market. We're gonna go wander around downtown and come back through here on our way out. The only risk, Curt, is that it closes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we need some food.
So this is costumes. Look at this, guys. Look at all the cushions. All right, we have sort of left that small little market area. I should say maybe we're kind of on the outskirts. There's still a lot of shops and stalls along the way. We have successfully scored some cash.
We got luckies.
Snow found an ATM, pulled some money out.
It was actually a very easy ATM. It's the first time that the first screen that popped up has been choose your language, and there were like 8 languages to choose from. There's a lot of times that it gives English and Spanish as choices, but this one had a ton. So it was super easy right away. So thank you, Credence Bank.
We're lucky.
Lucky.
It's better to be lucky than good. So we popped out on Banking Street, and we're kind of to a major roundabout here in the town. It looks like there's a theater there, and there's a nice sculpture in the middle, or a nice piece, maybe a big hospital. But in any event, this looks like it's definitely sort of the main part of the road. And we're headed up here to the walking street, so I think we're almost there. All right, so I think this is the biggest mosque we've seen in town, and maybe since we've been in Albania, I believe. But most of the mosques, no matter how big or small, are characterized by those towers, and I'm sure they have a name that we don't know, but they have the speakers on them. And so I think it's 4, 5, 6 times a day they do call to prayer, and so you can hear that on the loudspeakers for quite a distance. But yeah.
One thing, I think I might have already mentioned it, but this is definitely an area that shows that Albania is famous for is the camaraderie between the religions that have coexisted side by side for at least 100 years with no problems. You've got a mosque here, you've got a Catholic church, you have, I believe, an Episcopal church, all on the same block, and they've been here for a long, long time, and everybody respects everybody, and I think that's pretty special.
All right, another little intersection here. You can see there they have a little merry-go-round, a little pizza store and some statues, and it looks like we've kind of made it almost to the walking streets. So I think this is kind of where they begin. So the festivities should be going on somewhere in this vicinity. Sure, we'll start to see signs.
So we have made it probably a 15-minute walk from our van to a little tourist area here in this town or this city. I do not know the name of it because it's definitely in their language. Maybe we'll put it on the screen. But it's a little pedestrian area with lots of restaurants and cafes. And we've heard this is where the Carnival celebrations will take place. And we definitely see some signs of the elementary and middle school age kids having their little parades. We passed some in their costumes and we see paper masks around. But first order of business is going to be to get some lunch. We're hungry.
So the streets are actually kind of busy. There's a lot of people out here moving up and down the streets. And the little street side tables, there's a lot of places where those are filled too. But it's mostly people drinking water and coffee. Now we're looking for some lunch. So I'm not sure what it is. Sometimes we get into cities or towns or areas or countries or regions and they just have different customs as it relates to when they eat and what they eat and all that type of stuff. So we got to get this figured out because we're just wandering around looking for a restaurant. All right, we found a nice little strip.
We did. Lots of choices. It has it written in English, but the translation's a little, yeah. But we're able to figure it out, which is nice. There's definitely some things on here that I've never tried before, so I may get adventurous. We'll see.
And they have a traditional option, which I think I'm going to pick from the traditional stuff.
The stuffed cabbage leaf we had the other day. I'm wondering what this fried beef with ricotta and clay pans is. Vegetables fried.
So the first round is house special meatballs.
They're not round.
These don't look like meatballs. And it's a lot more food than we thought. We might have overdone it again, guys.
Oh, thank you.
So this is baked goat cheese right there.
That
It
looks
is
good.
hot. Look at that with
Ooh,
vegetables.
it's sizzling, sizzling.
Looks so good. So this, guys, is almost kind of like a fried little meatloaf. It's crispy on the outside.
Tastes like a meatball?
Yeah, like parsley, other spices and herbs. It's good. Tastes like a fried meatball.
All right, we did overdo it. This is tova. It's meat in a clay pot.
Oh yeah.
And this is stuffed peppers right here.
They cook them down, don't they? Oh, it looks delicious though.
Stuffed peppers with meat. Snow's digging into that goat cheese, and I took a bite, and it is off the charts yummy. Going with the stuffed pepper first.
Oh my. That is really, really, really good.
So, first impression of Albanian food. Big thumbs up, right?
Big thumbs up. All the flavors. There's some spice they use in most of their dishes that gives it a little sweet little tinge. Not like that it's sweet, but there's a spice that Curt needs to figure out what it is because it's good and they use it a lot.
All right, we definitely enjoyed the lunch. The meatballs were really good.
Okay, so the meatballs are like squished and flat, more like flat ovals, but they were delicious.
They were
crispy
very
on
rich.
The outside. Sorry. And what I have decided is I like Albanian food. I like the flavor, the spices that they use. They cook the vegetables deep and a long time, and they get mushy. And that stuffed pepper was
Especially with that
delicious.
the stuffed pepper.
And the goat cheese, it was baked and it was a little hard on the outside but soft on the inside.
With roasted vegetables
They
underneath.
used a lot of olive oil.
Olive oil.
A lot of olive oil for sure. But the food was off the charts.
And then that little stew stuff worked out good over my French fries.
I
It was
put it over
good.
potatoes. It was good. I don't know, can't remember what it was called, but it was some sort of specialty dish that we thought was going to be like chunks of fried meat. Ended up being like this runny soup meat gravy, and it was delicious. And that was $25
So
So for a legitimate full course, yummy, huge Albanian meal in a tourist part of a tourist city.
yeah, and
So
it
it's
was
pretty good.
It was pretty authentic too. It was really, really, really good. And again, as I said earlier, the streets are pretty active, and we've learned where the little festival area is.
Not too far from
Now
it.
they have different events going on throughout the day, so I don't know what's going on now, other than a lot of activity. So let's just kind of go check it out and see what we see. And first off, we can see this big police officer right here with the big old grin right in the middle of the road. Oh, and look at Mother Teresa.
Oh yeah. Mother Teresa is, everyone knows, Mother Teresa. She is world-renowned, historical, amazing religious figure. She is from the Catholic religion, and I have told you that although this is a heavy Muslim country, they share all religions here. Mother Teresa's ancestry, her parents are from Albania. Now, she was born just across the border in one of the other countries. I can't
Macedonia?
remember which one. Maybe it was Macedonia. But Albania considers her a daughter of Albania, and no one seems to dispute it. And I thought that was pretty cool. And here they do. They have a statue to memorialize it.
After wandering around Shkodra for a little over an hour and lunch, I gotta tell you, this is a beautiful little city. And when we rode around, we really didn't get the same look and feel as you do when you're walking the streets on the ground. But it is an active little town. Of course, they have the festival going on. A lot of bicycles, a lot of people just walking around enjoying the beautiful weather we're having today. A lot of restaurants, a lot of coffee shops, just pretty much everything you could see. But we're kind of walking down to the area, the main area of the festival here, and it looks like we're kind of between sort of parades. We see some costume people in there who are kind of disappearing. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of that before, I don't know, maybe we'll see an event. We'll see. Hey, Snow, you got to stand on there and do a little dance. I don't know. A one move dance.
All right, as we're walking around this city, there's something I want to make sure you guys know. Now, we are still right on the very north edge of Albania. And as we work our way south, we'll learn more and more about this, but we'll mainly learn this when we get to the capital of Tirana. But I want to give you a little look ahead that up until 1992, which was just a little over 30 years ago, Albania was under communist rule by a dictator who was very paranoid. The country was closed off to the rest of the world. In modern times, think like North Korea, really that extreme. So it is amazing to see how developed and how open and how tourist friendly this place has become in just over 30 years, to think where they were back before 1992. Now don't worry, a few videos from now, when we get to the capital, we'll break down all that history because it is fascinating. But I thought it was due a little bit of a mention right now as we're first entering Albania.
So right here in front of us, if you can see this big tangled tree on the corner of this intersection, that is the oldest tree here in Shkodra. It's about 200 years old.
It's a pretty tree. I'd like to see it with leaves on it. But what we have discovered is that the Carnival happens on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in town. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they have like parades from the local schools and all of that until just after lunch. So what has happened is we have missed the morning session of Carnival. It picks up again tonight at 7 or 8 o'clock, where we were down there just now, so we were leaving. It goes until 9 or 10, and that's when there's live music and entertainment. The problem for us is it will be difficult for us to get down here in the van at night and feel safe walking away from it. And we are over 4 kilometers from our campsite, so we can't walk down here at night. The roads are too busy and it's just too dangerous. Now, we'll see how the weather is this in the morning. It's supposed to be rainy. If we can come down here tomorrow and catch the daytime activities, we will. But do not worry, our campsite is right next door to a restaurant that hosts a big carnival party, and we are for sure taking you to that. But now we're headed back to the van and hopefully going back through the market and picking up some groceries on the way. Can we get a thing of arugula, Curt? Yeah. Oh, lemons, Curt. So we hit the jackpot big time at the food market, loaded up on all kinds of vegetables, and got some eggs for Curt. How much was it, Curt?
It was $11 for like a dozen eggs, potatoes, carrots, all kinds of
Arugula,
stuff.
lettuce, peppers, onions, leeks, so much stuff. But it's starting to sprinkle. We gotta hustle back to the van. Hi guys. Hi guys. Whew. We had to hustle back to the van. The kitties were just sitting here chilling. They're cool. And it started pouring down rain the minute we got in the van. So we timed that perfect. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!